give me a ring if you have thoughts on what these plans are. 0800 111 40 41 is the number to call. Councillor David Taylor is the Conservative who organised the protest this week and joins me now. Hi to you, David.
Good morning, Ben.
Why are you so opposed to ULEZ?
Well, I think the question is, why is ULEZ being put forward as a solution to our air quality problem? I think we have an issue with pollution in London, but I don't think that ULEZ is going to do anything to solve it. TfL's own studies say that it will improve our air quality by less than 1%. And that, to me, is not a good use of our taxpayers' money. They're going to spend up to £300 million putting these cameras up, fining people that can't afford to change their vehicles for next to no impact on our air quality. I can't see why the Mayor of London's proposing ULEZ.
The council wants it delayed. Isn't that a sensible approach?
The council might want it delayed, but the residents of Havering don't want it delayed. They want it cancelled. The delay to ULEZ, all that's going to do is push the problem further down the road. We know at the moment, according to Auto Trader, that if you go to purchase a ULEZ compliant second-hand vehicle for under £5,000, there's only 5,000 available across the whole of London. And pushing this problem further down the road isn't going to suddenly make a lot more cars available. It's not going to suddenly put more money in people's pockets. The people of Havering, and I think the people of London, want ULEZ scrapped, and they would much rather that £300 million be spent on improving public transport and helping people into newer vehicles.
You speak about the money and the cost. Surely there's not the money or public money, taxpayers' money for a legal challenge, is there?
Well, the Conservatives put a proposal before Havering Council this week, and we proposed putting £300,000 aside to join in the legal challenge that other London boroughs are putting in. And the more boroughs that join in, the less the burden on each individual borough. But our budget and that proposal was signed off as deliverable by Havering's officers. So the money is there, but it's about choices. We elect our leaders to make choices about where they're going to spend the money and what they're going to put it on. We made some certain choices in the budget. We cut back on some of the top politicians and top executives' pay, and we found the money for this challenge. And unfortunately, the Residents' Association and Labour weren't prepared to make those choices.
To fight a proposal that reduces air pollution in this age that we are living in now regarding global warming and genuine concerns about the air quality and how green we're being, to fight against that plan, I mean, is that going to be popular?
I think last night the Mayor of London said that those of us opposed to ULEZ are climate deniers. That's not true. We believe that there is a problem. We know that there is a problem with the air quality and that people suffer from it. We're not fighting against improving people's health. We're fighting against a waste of taxpayers' money. I've got TfL's report in front of me, and they say that there will be an improvement of just 1.4 hospital admissions due to respiratory conditions. 1.4, that's not percent, that's people. I don't think that ULEZ solves the problem of poor air quality in Havering. So no, we're not opposing improving the air. We're opposing spending this money in this particular way.
Something's not quite right here, though, because Sadiq Khan has said he believes there's around 4,000 premature deaths in London every year due to poor air quality. So the air quality around the area needs to improve. We've spoken about air quality in Havering, particularly around Launders Lane in Raynham before. So, what is the solution then if this isn't?
Sure. Well, the Conservatives in City Hall in London put forward alternative plans just last week in the GLA's budget. And they were planning to invest $500 million in tackling air pollution. Now, this included moving the buses to zero emissions 4 years earlier than Mayor Khan's plans. It was investing in public transport. It was building better cycle lanes and walking infrastructure. And all of that will have a much better impact on people's health than taxing those that can't afford it to drive into town. With this ULEZ, it might improve air quality by 0.1%. It might have a small impact, but it's going to place barriers between families who live inside and outside of London. It's going to impact businesses and charities that drive into our borough. Havering sees 25,000 journeys per day from Essex into Havering, and these are for businesses. So we're going to make people's mental health worse. We're going to impact the wages that they can take home. They're not going to be able to see their families. I don't believe that spending £300 million to tax vulnerable people is a good use of our money.
What's next for you then? Because you wanted the council to adopt your proposal to join the legal challenge against these plans, but they've not done that this week. So where do you go now?
Sure. Well, first of all, the proposal wasn't just to join the legal challenge. We were clear that if the council felt the legal challenge wouldn't succeed or it was too late, that money be used to help Havering residents adapt to meet ULEZ. We wanted a Havering-specific fund. Now, if this is now off the table, the next thing we need to do is get rid of Sadiq Khan. We've got the GLA elections coming up next year. We've got the mayoral elections coming up next year, and we need to get Khan out. That now is our next step for preventing ULEZ expansion across London and making sure that people aren't priced out of their living and priced out of seeing their families.
Councillor David Taylor, we will leave it there. Thank you for joining us. Obviously, we don't have Sadiq Khan here to respond to what David Taylor said at the very end.